Okay, so that was really bad news. It looks worse than it actually I was hoping for. So yeah, you know, when you have this lifestyle, the outboard is a very important part of it, because your tender is basically your car. I'm pretty sure I know what's wrong with the outboard. I believe it's the same issue that I had in Panama. That's the old gaskets. It's crazy. Pretty new engine, and the gasket is corroded. So must be a problem with this Yamaha. Normally Yamaha is a very good engine.
Oh, that came from Chevrolet too. This one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Same problem?
Yes.
Right here. Oh yeah.
Feeling free, free to sail my life from rise to the setting sun. Free, that's what I wanna be.
Yeah, you know, when you have this lifestyle, the outboard is a very important part of it, because your tender is basically your car. And I even have a garage for my pretend car in my floating palace. Before I reveal everything that's wrong with my 4 years old Yamaha, I'm gonna take you with me on a little detour, giving you the full picture from my last 7 years of full-time sailing. Hopefully some valuable takeaways here for those of you planning on following in my wake. Let's do a fast time travel back to Europe, where I started my long adventure. This cute little tender and outboard came with my yacht when I bought her, and you can compare it with a small city car that worked very well in Europe. And just like a small car in a crowded city and sometimes challenging narrow streets and parking spots, also on B3, this was more practical. It was just perfect for its purpose, and I didn't even have to remove the outboard to park it in my garage. The Caribbean, however, was a different ballgame, often with pretty long distance to dinghy docks, and sometimes strong wind and a bit current made even the shortest trip to a nightmare, something you rarely would experience in the Mediterranean. So when my cute little engine started to become a bit unreliable, I was thinking ahead for my planned Pacific crossing, and I felt I would need a bigger and faster tender. A tender that can carry not only me, but even with friends or guests over longer distances. This is the Caribbean island Martinique, where I realized I need a better and also faster tender after I had crossed the Atlantic Ocean. The lifestyle here is very different from Europe, and not only much greater distance to go with your tender, the Caribbean also offers so much more. And at least for me, this made me wanting to go on adventures as well as just landing on beautiful beaches. It was nothing wrong with the old tender. In fact, I would claim it's the best I have had, quality-wise. I even kept it as a backup for some years. However, its length, weight and hull design gave some odd results. No matter how big engine I put on this one, it just would not get out of the water and plane. I tried with a 6, 9.9 and 15 horsepower. It was impossible to get it out of the water. Just like some claim you can sail without an engine around the world, you for sure will hear someone claiming that you don't need an outboard. You can row, and it's totally okay. Remember, it's so many defending a pretend image out here, and it's not always how it looks like in the real world. I know, because I've been the one with the cold beers on board, the one with water maker, and the one with a functional engine towing sailors to safety. I've also been the convenient friend with a fast tender with a strong outboard for many of those selling you a false image. It's simple as that. I'm not saying you have to go fast and that your tender must be planing out of the water, but it saves petrol, it saves time, and sometimes you might even need to go back to your boat in a hurry. So when I received what I consider as a great deal on a bundle, I did not hesitate to burn some euros on it. Because after my tests, I found out I needed not only a better tender, I also needed a more powerful engine. I was in heaven. Such a nice feeling, getting a brand new engine, super friendly staff helping me, and great service and express delivery.
Not again this week.
You have dropped one earlier this week?
Each week once.
Okay, I'm really happy this one didn't go in the bottom.
And believe me, shit happens. I did never drop my engine in the ocean, but I total wrecked it during a dinghy race with my friend Rick Moore when we were in Panama. And we were basically side by side when it happened, and Rick was lucky and went clear of the reef we could not see. My new Tohatsu took a brutal hit. It's very shallow here. Right there and then, my Tohatsu was not even 6 months old, and this experience later turned out to be fatal for my outboard. After having sailed back to Martinique from Panama, the consequences only a few months later became obvious. My big mistake had led to a full crash of my outboard. I had plans of getting it to the workshop here for a check, but it was closed due to the pandemic. In Panama there was no Tohatsu dealer and I could not even get a new propeller. If I had not killed it with my accident, I would probably still had this one, and I did like it the short time I had to enjoy this 4-stroke wonder machine. The 3D tender, however, is a different story. I can only speak about the PVC version, but if you ask me, this should have been illegal to sell, as it's only expensive way of producing garbage. Everywhere you go in the Caribbean, you will see this tender either full of patches or dumped somewhere after someone just have given up on it. Only 12 months old, it started to leak in the plastic weldings, and after 20 months it was basically delaminated and falling apart everywhere.
Wow, it's like robust and inflated still.
I believe it's fair to say this has been my biggest waste of money in my entire life, not only the years as a sailor. Repairs on my Tohatsu was calculated to almost the same price as buying a brand new 2-stroke Yamaha 15. And with experience not in terms of quality, but how difficult it was to have it serviced and get spare parts in more rural places, buying a Yamaha was for me a no-brainer. But it's also the most stolen outboard in the world. In Caribbean it's lock it or lose it. And in places like Panama you can even get shot and killed for it. So I painted my brand new outboard to look like trash and also very easy to spot with a Norwegian flag. But now I feel I'm back to scratch again, both with my outboard as when I was in Panama, but also with my tender that I will come back to. I'm pretty sure I know what's wrong with the outboard. I believe it's the same issue that I had in Panama. That's the old gasket. It's crazy. Put a new engine and the gasket is corroded. So must be a problem with this Yamaha. Normally Yamaha is a very good engine, but I now see 3 engines with the same problem. So it can't be a coincidence.
What do you think?
Well, it's kind of a backyard workshop. What you expect to find here, but
One of the good things with the Yamaha is that you can get spare parts and people know how to work on them everywhere. So that's why, the main reason why I bought a Yamaha. But this guy is supposed to be good, so let's see, let's find out.
Oh, that came from Germany too.
This one, yeah.
Yes.
Same problem?
Yes. It's right here.
Oh yeah, so that has a different problem.
When you got it stored too long,
Yeah.
they get frozen now. Very deep.
Ah, okay.
Maybe that is safety, no?
This is different.
Think so? Let's see. We're gonna check it out.
Okay. So I took open and sprayed. Then try to circle to see if it can lose. But
There's nothing. Okay.
it's same like this. Also very.
Don't worry.
Yeah. Okay. Muchas gracias.
We're gonna give it some hammer.
This was only days before transiting the Panama Canal. I had gasket replaced and my Yamaha serviced. And finally, I was ready for the Pacific with what I believe would be a pretty good setup in terms of dinghy and outboard. And now, only 2 years later, I find myself in Indonesia with the exact same problem. But here in Bali, not only are Yamaha the biggest, if not the only brand, as most places I have been. Here, it really looks professional as well. So, I think I'm gonna row my dinghy in there to the dinghy dock. And only minutes after I visit the Yamaha Center, these nice guys came to pick up my outboard. This is probably why the only outboard you can spot as far you can see are in fact Yamaha. Only 1 day later they asked me to come ashore, and by the phone call and the video they sent me, it didn't look good. My outboard now sounds just like the one I was shown in Panama.
It's right here.
Oh yeah. Hello. All I have to do is to send a WhatsApp message to this number. It's brilliant. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much.
When this first happened, at least I'm glad it was here and not in a remote atoll in the South Pacific.
It's gonna be interesting to see what they found out. The master mechanic.
Maybe water comes from here. There is a leak.
In the gasket or?
Maybe in gasket or in this.
I was right about the gasket, but this time it was much worse. I believe it was only bad petrol that made it not run so smooth. But looking at how pistons and basically everything inside the engine looks like, it's impressive that it's been running at all. He pointed out a few other things as well, and I must say I'm a bit surprised. Okay, so that was really bad news. It looks worse than it actually I was hoping for. So I'm without a car at the moment, or tender, and this might be pretty expensive. They're gonna give me a total price of everything, so yeah, we'll find out. I don't even know if it's worth or you can defend fixing it compared to the price for a new one. We'll find out. With my ongoing project, being without an outboard is not exactly ideal, and definitely nothing I had planned to spend money on right now. I'm pretty glad I had dinghy chaps made in Martinique, because here your inflatable tender gets beaten up pretty bad, and even punctured from a bit rustic boats and pontoons. I have now taken off the chaps to restitch it again, and even need to patch my poor tender. This tender has served me well and has been the perfect size and weight for me. It is fast and it even offers a pretty dry ride compared to many other inflatables. The Caribbean, this would probably last for 10 years. But here in Indonesia, having an inflatable is a nightmare. From a sailor's perspective, having landed my tender so many different places, Bali is the most expensive one. Not in landing fee, but in damages to my tender. It was pretty bad on the Pacific side of Panama as well, but Indonesia is definitely challenging in this context. What's the best outboard for long distance sailing, I'm not so sure about anymore, but the theory about Yamaha to be the easiest to have repaired anywhere have proven to be correct.
Rowing here is totally okay, but you have to time it with the tidal water, because it can be as much as 3 knots, then it's no chance for rowing. But now in the morning, flat water and no currents.
I'm absolutely not gonna tell you what's the best tender. For me, the weight and limitations in size is critical. But there's no doubt a rigid tender would last much longer and save lots of frustration and money in the longer run. Hopefully I will soon have my pretend car parked in my garage again, either with a new outboard or the old one repaired. I'm still blown away from how bad my beloved Yamaha looks like now, and this is not my first outboard in my life. I have had similar that lasted 20 years, so I'm not sure if I'm to blame for this one.
So, looks like you got water in the piston and the cylinder.
Yes.
And it comes...
Enter in here. In number 2.
I guess once its gaskets are compromised, things go so fast, and water inside an engine is never a good thing.
Low, so bad. Not stable, unstable.
Yeah.
This one is nice. It's still stable.
Okay.
For number 2, unstable.
So to wrap this up, the Be Freestyle, it's always a solution, sometimes it just takes longer time. Thank you so much for watching and for being here, and a special thank you to my patrons and sponsors helping me to follow my dreams, making it possible for me to share my adventures and even my experience and knowledge with you.
One life, no replay. Sail it wisely, don't drift astray. Pick your battle.
If you haven't already, I would be very happy to see you subscribe to my channel, and if you even would like to support me via my patrons, I will share the link in my description.